What is going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of UnSKripted. Listen, it is Tuesday night. You know what that means. I have some of the biggest, the baddest, the best wrestlers of today and yesteryear. And guess what? Tonight is no different. A year ago, I had this guy on the show. Time flies. And man, listen, of course, there's a lot of fans. We've got over 3 million followers throughout the Sportskeeda platforms, well over 3 million. So thank you so much with that. And, there are some things that were advertised, but man, we've got a heavy, heavy hitter tonight. And this guy, just his flexibility and just his willingness and just, man, he deserves a round of applause for stepping in. And he is greatly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a former WWE Tag Team Champion. He is the former Wyatt Family member. I'm sure you might have some questions for this guy. I'm sure you do. He is Erick Redbeard, formerly known as Erick Rowan. How are you tonight, my man?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
It's doing well, man. Do you have thanks again for coming through, man. I really, really appreciate it. Do you have any projects coming up soon?
I have a few. One is a short film called Tito. You can check it out at Sell the Leg Productions. A friend of mine, Anthony Notarelli, used to work with WWE. He's a actor, writer, extraordinaire, and he wrote this, brilliant script. And Claudio Castagnoli, he's involved with it. It's kind of about the American dream. The story resonated with me, so it's called Tito, and it's gonna be a little short film. So support it.
Tito, like the music levels, like the music scale.
It's about a dog, and the dog's
How do you spell it?
Tito.
Tito. Oh, Tito, like Santana. Arriba.
Yes, I've never been the best at pronouncing things. I always get made fun of for it.
No worries, man.
Tomato. It's kind of one of those things, for me.
Yeah. Tito. Good stuff, man. Tito is the movie, and Erick Redbeard is a cast member. Go check him out. Support my man. You ready to dive into these questions?
Sure.
Awesome. Guillermo is asking, how did the idea of joining Bray and the Wyatt family come to be?
Bray was doing vignettes at a idea for a cult. And I wasn't involved until like last minute, but we, all did different, kind of like promos with Dusty Rhodes and kind of different our incarnations of different, people and things, and just kind of fell together.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Riju's asking, with so many former WWE superstars coming back to the company, would you want to return and work with Triple H?
Never had any problems with Triple H. But it's another thing. So many former people, so many new people. It's right place, right times. Basically, all it is.
Yeah. Thoughts on Triple H taking the helm? You worked with him in NXT, and I'm sure he had a lot of positive reviews. Having the pin in NXT, now he has the pin for the whole company creatively. Your thoughts on that?
Creative mind thinks like a wrestler, but and he knows where things are going, and hopefully, they stick to storylines that they have to let them play out, and hopefully draw in new viewers through interesting new stories and characters.
Before we get to another question, I'm interested in knowing about that. If there was one decision that you could have made to continue the Wyatt family storyline to keep keep life in it, and you said, "Here, Triple H, here's what I'm pitching to keep the life in this," what would it be? What decision would you have made, changed, altered? What would it have been?
Man, you can't leave anything to the imagination, can you? There's no pitch for the Wyatt family. You don't need a pitch. Everything writes itself with characters and people. And as far as trying to pitch something in wrestling, it's funny because what you're pitching is basically just a story. You're pitching a story to come into a show with, but then what's the long term to that story? Who are the people? And I think that's, I hope, with people coming back, it's not like, oh, cool, interesting, a week, 2 weeks later, that storyline ended. Well, what's the guy gonna do now? Exactly. And I think that's what wrestling's missing. Is I miss seeing storylines, in wrestling, not just 2 or 3. I want every person to have a storyline, and whether it's funny, whether it's disgusting, scary, just different things on the show, that's going to cater to different, people, and like that's what wrestling is. It's a sideshow attraction. It's entertainment for everybody. Meaning, you might like something on the first hour of the show. The guy next to you is going to like the stuff on the second hour of the show. But as long as it keeps everyone interested and coming back, like that's what wrestling needs. And I think Triple H is more than capable of doing something like that. But it's a problem with wrestling to get so much content. You need a lot of talent, and you have to establish a lot of talent. People say there's not enough room for all these people. There is a lot of room. There's a lot of television. I don't know if you've seen some TV series. If you watch some of these, just 10 episode, 1 hour long series, how many characters do you see within a season?
Quite a bit.
How many characters do you still think about, even though they're on like a show for 2 or 3 episodes in like a 6 seasons of that, but they're only in 2 or 3 episodes. And you remember that character from, you could watch The Office and go back and remember, oh, that guy was in like 2 episodes. I remember him from them. And it's like, well, they did their job doing that story with that character. So hopefully, wrestling gets more of that and people get more invested and want to watch it.
Yeah. Well said, man. Do you ever think that you would be interested in being a part of the psychology of storytelling as far as on someone's creative teams? I think you've got a lot up there that the world needs to be exposed of from a storyline perspective.
I would like that, but I consider myself young and I like to be on camera as much as possible.
There you go. And everybody's asking if you got the chance to recreate a faction in WWE like the Wyatt family, which current stars would you choose to join?
Uh, I don't think there'll be anything like it. And you can, like Sanity. That's an example of something that was different than the Wyatt family. People compared them; they were completely different things.
Yeah.
So it's like I think they had that Judgment Day started with Edge, and like people tried to compare it to things, and it's like no, it's a completely different thing. It's getting over characters, and seeing different sides of the characters that they have.
Yeah. Reezy was asking, what was it like working with the Shield? Do you think Roman Reigns would become the biggest star on the company?
Working the Shield was great. I mean, every one of them was a world champion, main eventer, just incredible talent. It's easy night off, working in the ring with those guys. Roman, he always had this certain quality to him and how he held himself. And Roman reminds me a lot in the ring of like Randy Orton. He's got the look, he's got everything. So kind of hard not to see.
Yeah. Elvis is asking, who came up with the name Bludgeon Brothers, and why didn't you guys get a bigger push?
That was Vince and the word bludgeon. Why didn't we get a bigger push? I mean, we were beating everybody. We were beating everyone.
Y'all squashed the New Day and the Usos at WrestleMania.
I don't know how much bigger of a push you got to get. Vince wanted to break us up and have us do separate things, supposedly. And we were supposed to lose the match that we lost on, but I injured myself the night before at SummerSlam because we were going to lose by DQ anyway. And, did what was business afterward. And then that was the end of it. I didn't think it was, but that was the end of it.
What was Vince McMahon's commitment to tag team wrestling, period? Because tag team wrestling used to be such a thing. I mean, to the point of just multiple Hall of Famers, the Road Warriors, the Midnight Express, the Freebirds, the Rock and Roll Express. I mean, so many amazing tag teams in the 80s and the early 90s. And it seems like Vince has gotten away from being committed to tag team wrestling. Why do you think that's the case from your experience there? And did you pick up that same feel?
There was always a joke that you gotta pay a tag team double the money and you do the singles.
Interesting.
No, as far as like why he didn't push the tag teams, like I don't know. I mean, the crowds always seemed entertained with great tag team action. It breaks up the show. You can only watch so many singles matches. You can only watch so many triple threats, 4 ways, death matches. You need different flavors on a show. And I've always been a fan of tag team wrestling. So, I like to watch. I like the 6-mans. I like the trios. They're fun matches, and the crowd seems to be invested in them, and they're just action packed because the action never stops. It never slows down because you have so many fresh bodies in there. The whole point of tag team wrestling is you take the fresh man in to get the job, and your job's to keep the guy in your corner so he can't take out. And it's that whole drama of beating the guy down and pinning him. That's what wrestling is. You want to beat that one guy down 2-on-1 until you win. So I don't know. I just wish tag team wrestling get more of a spotlight. It's good to see guys like Street Profits get a chance, but then how many more teams, have there been in the last 4 years? Like,
Yeah, and now, the Street Profits are getting booked in singles matches and losing, consecutive weeks to Seth Rollins, and so they're even splitting them up. So, in a way, they're still, and they're not really winning as many matches as they used to, and they have they're one of the most electrifying tag teams in pro wrestling right now. So it just, I don't know. It just, to me, I'm a tag team guy. I love tag team wrestling. I've been watching wrestling since the mid '80s, and I definitely have seen a difference in tag team wrestling. I think you bring up a good point, Eric, as far as just that type of intangible psychology involved in tag team wrestling. Pounding the person closer to your corner. You know, the psychology and building up to the hot tag that singles wrestling can't offer. You know what I mean? So that's a whole different element in the crowd participation that tag team wrestling involves over singles wrestling. So yeah, I think you bring a good point there.
or the chaos, the tornado tag team match.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, definitely chaotic there for sure. AC is asking, will you sign to AEW full time?
I got no answer to any of these questions. They're all great questions. But Willie,
I think he wants you to, at least.
Yeah, but thank you for wanting to see me. But I'd like I said, storyline wrestling is what I want, and if the storyline works out in the future for both parties, then I'm more than welcome to do it. But will you sign? It's like that's such a question.
Now, were there any talks after the couple shots that you did before?
I mean, we kept in contact. Possibilities of doing things in the future. May or may not have had things to do that didn't follow through with, but stuff happens. It has to be the right time and the right place.
Yep, indeed.
Otherwise, everybody else.
Otherwise, what you say?
Otherwise, everybody else.
Yeah. Chris is asking, well, he said that you're one of the most underrated big men ever, he says. Put him in New Japan against Bad Luck Fale. Oh, that'll be a hard-hitting match. New Japan.
Any of those guys from New Japan would be a hard-hitting match.
Yes.
I see that they have the big boy block, and I wasn't invited New Japan, but guys like Jeff Cobb, Bad Luck Fale, even Mr. Doc Gallows or the big dog, be Bronson Reed.
Jonah. Yeah. Yeah, when I see you and Jonah having a really, really good match, actually. I'm a big fan of Jonah. I'm a big fan of him. I think he's super. He reminds me of a ring style of Bam Bam Bigelow a lot. I was a big fan of Bam Bam back in the day. Just a big, agile, big man. Yeah. Who's some people you liked back in the day?
Back in the day, everyone knows I'm a Big John Studd fan. Big John Studd.
Yes,
I think he was the most underrated big man. And that's just me talking.
Good point. Yeah.
But Big John Studd, I always liked Bruiser Brody and
of course,
Dan Hansen, and they used to have even like Kenta Kobashi. I used to watch tapes of him, and just beating the hell out of people. But he was phenomenal.
He was.
Luckily, I got to have some words with him in 2007 when I was, in the Noah dojo. He's coming back, from cancer and working out, and he'd seen me, work a match in Noah. I was very green, and he had very nice words to say, and I always took that to heart.
Yeah, very nice. I've talked to Stan Hansen before, and he's a very nice guy. But it's funny. I've seen, saw his work in Japan over the years. But I'll tell you, if you YouTube just a lariat compilation of Stan Hansen, man, oh man, I mean, just the ruggedness, and he's like, "Listen, I know that I'm going to beat you up if you try to confront me in the back, so I'm gonna stiff you." And he would give some stiff ones, man. Those lariats were no joke, man. Lariato. So, yeah, if you're looking at this, look at a lariat compilation from Stan Hansen, and you will be amazed for sure. So, let's see. Subhajit says, if Bray Wyatt joins AEW in the future, would you like to reform the Wyatt family? How do you think it would work alongside existing factions like the House of Black?
Let's just say if I did anything with Bray, it would be in honor of John.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Just something completely different.
Uh, I don't know, and
Okay.
and for me, no matter what it is, it would be very emotional and every
Yeah.
day. And I would enjoy it personally just because he'd be on my mind every day. But every time I wrestle, I get in the ring, he's with me. So it's just one of those things where some days it hits me hard. I get very emotional, and that's life. But what makes me happy afterward is like I wouldn't be having these feelings and getting so emotional if I didn't care. So
For sure. 20 years with Randy Orton. As he celebrates 20 years, is he one of the greats?
absolutely, why wouldn't he?
Would you
Absolutely.
would you rank him top 10, 20, 25? Just a ballpark, your personal top.
Oh, he'd definitely be up there in top 10. I mean,
Nice.
Big John Studd, obviously number one. Big Kane Glenn, that's number two for me. And it just keeps going down. I mean, we all have different flavors of ice cream. I could say Cyndi Lauper and her appearances could rank up number 4 for me. I
There you
don't know.
go. There you go. Kai and Chai. No, number 6 for you. Yeah. All three of them. Let's see here. Do you ever see yourself ditching the beard if the right opportunity comes along, perhaps a movie role?
My wife, she loves the beard. And we
Nice.
have this conversation, quite frequently around the house. And if the right opportunity comes, yes, it's getting chopped off. But we'll see.
How long did
And
it take you to grow it?
I mean, I've been growing this since I got signed, so it was already like that long after I got signed. So like 2011, 2012.
Wow.
So it's been growing for a long time. I think it just stops at some point, but
Yeah.
but of course, if the right opportunity comes, I'd shave it. I wouldn't tell anybody, and I'd probably try to, double dip and get like a beard versus hair match or something. And nobody
There you
expects me to lose it, but I just gave it away now, so I just lost that opportunity.
go. Or you might win the match. There's a swerve. You might win the match and not lose your beard. So there's always a swerve. There's always a potential swerve in pro wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. Ablash is asking, what would you like to share your thoughts on your WrestleMania 32 match with WWE legend The Rock?
I like to call that my WrestleMania 32 segment.
Yeah. Was it a thing for you? How did that come about? Like, give us let's break the fourth wall as much as you possibly can here with us in the SK Nation here. Like, why was it Erick Rowan? The Rock wanted a segment, WrestleMania 32. How did that even come about, and why were you chosen?
I mean, I can't speak for what happens behind the scenes,
As far
but
as you know.
I can assume,
There you go.
which will probably make me look stupid and silly,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna do it anyway.
There you go.
But no, I just look at it as they were in Dallas, and it was 101 plus thousand people. He was going to announce how many people that were there. They wanted to give him a record, shortest match in WrestleMania history at the time. I think that still stands. I'm not sure. But yeah, and who's going to take the loss out of the Wyatt family? Braun Strowman, who was undefeated black sheep, or Bray Wyatt. the leader? Oh, obviously me. So no, but it was fun segment. Like you're toe to toe with the great one. Do you wish you would have got a couple shots, a little punch? Yeah, but the business called for that day. That's what the business was, and to me, it was better than being in my second or third Andre the Giant Battle Memorial. So that's the way it was. That's what they wanted, and that's what they got, and it was a great experience.
If I'm not mistaken, you are The Rock's last match so far, right?
Oh, he'll have another one.
I said so far. So I mean, right now you hold that mantle to say that The Rock retired against Erick Rowan. So
yeah, there's quite the list of people who faced The Rock at WrestleMania, and you throw my name just in the middle. You got Stone Cold, you got John Cena, you got Rowan.
Forget all them. You've got Erick Redbeard. Let's see. Got a few more questions here. Breakers RS. If Triple H came to you with an opportunity to go back with an opportunity at a singles run, would you do it?
I mean, if the opportunity called for certain things and it was creatively beneficial to the both of us, absolutely.
Nice. Would you be interested in becoming the new leader of the Dark Order? I've actually thought about that.
And
myself.
I've answered this before, not with you, obviously, but
No.
the answer is absolutely not. To me, that's what John created such in a short amount of time. He made it memorable.
He did.
That's his legacy to that company. That that and the TNT title, and to me, like, just leave it alone. And just
you think Dark Order should go? Period.
I don't think they should go, but I think that there shouldn't be like a new leader. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think they should do with the Dark Order right now? I mean, it just kind of seems like they're just kind of middle of the road, just kind of sliding by every week.
I don't got the answers to that one. I mean, I've seen and heard some of the guys have no longer with that company, and it's just the way the business is, and I don't know what's happening, what investment they have, but there's some talented guys within that group.
Yeah. Mario was asking your thoughts on the Undertaker and Kane segment with you, Brody, and Bray.
I still wish I would have fought in Bray's place, and I guarantee we would have won.
Yep. Any potential reunion with Bryan Danielson in the future?
I did have a reunion with them when I went to AEW back in March. It was fantastic.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's see here. Got about a minute and a half left. Let's see here. There's a lot of people wanting you to join AEW full time. There's a lot of the same question from different people. Will he join AEW? Will he join AEW? Will he join AEW? So
I mean, all those people just go on their Twitter machines and harass that boss, and we'll see what happens.
There you go. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody go who wants him to join AEW. You tag Tony Khan and you tag AEW and you tag this guy all in the same tweet. You start a big long list of tweets, and hey, social media makes noise nowadays, and so you can definitely make noise.
I hate social media, but that's just
why do you hate social media?
Sometimes I feel like it's a chore, but sometimes I feel like it's relief. As far as like some people write down their feelings, or some people take things as cryptic when it's just like a release and it's poetic and it sounds nice to you and it's for you. And you know what the meaning is and no one else does. And that's the only thing I like about it.
Yeah. It's funny because, I've been a journalist for over a decade now. And, I watch some, I look at a lot of the sheets, the dirt sheets, and, it'll be a tweet that someone says done. And then all of a sudden, such and such threatens to quit WWE. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, maybe that'll.
I just finished the dishes, man.
Yeah, I just finished washing the dishes. That was it. I mean, done. That was all. That was it.
Man, that was the last episode of Sopranos. I'm done.
I'm done. That's all. I just finished my dinner. I just finished a steak meal. Done. That's all. Oh, you're done. You're threatening to quit WWE. So I can definitely understand how it is a chore. Last question. What's your thoughts on Stephanie McMahon being the chairwoman? Well, co-chairwoman. Does she deserve it? Oh, they were asking me. Okay, it said Eric, you can chime in also. Okay. I've talked about this many times. I'm going to put my thoughts aside on this, so I'll let you take the reins on this one.
Wow. No, I mean, if anybody deserves it, it would be her. I mean, she's grew up around the business. She knows the ins and outs, and like the fact that is it a co-chair?
Yeah, with Nick Khan. Yeah.
Yes, he takes over the
co-CEO.
He takes over the business part of it. She takes over the other side of it. So, like, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, good stuff. Speaking of no-brainer, it's a no-brainer that you go follow this guy and support his projects and endeavors and everything. You got any wrestling appearances coming?
I have a few, but I don't remember where they are.
Okay.
I'm very bad with this, but I will say you can check out. I usually the week before post up where I'm going. Check out at Erick Redbeard on Twitter, at Erick Redbeard on Instagram, and if you're a promoter out there and you want to book Mr. Redbeard, that's me. It's bookredbeard@gmail.com, and you can get a hold of my information.
You said bookredbeard@gmail.com?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good stuff. Yeah, bookredbeard@gmail.com. Go book this guy. I have no idea why he is not signed to a major promotion. I don't get it, actually, because this guy has a ton of talent, and he has a big red beard, y'all. I mean, what are we doing here? If
it takes a doctor to notice this information, then I'm sure that everyone should take his advice.
There you go.
You write a prescription out to these fellow promoters and tell them to book Mr. Redbeard.
Yes, indeed. Good stuff, man. Eric, it's been a pleasure, man. I appreciate you coming on the show, man. Thank you so much for stepping through and getting the hot tag. You're a true tag team specialist, man. You got the hot tag, 11th hour, all the suspense, and everybody's here to see you, man. I mean, that's
now I know why Matt Cardona and Zack Ryder always said always ready. Tag team special, always ready.
Always ready, my man. Good stuff. Thanks for coming on the show tonight.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.